Right, folks, we are back. We've been missing for quite some time, but Dundalk is back now, and we are finally back with a preview. Um, be sure to check out our Twitter pages and Facebook and Instagram. And we also have a TikTok page now that Dean has kindly set up. Dean, you're in charge of that.
Yeah, there's a couple of videos. I'd say I'll probably be posting some more stuff, snippets of our preview from here, and Ryan will be the master behind making a few more videos on track, I think, on Friday night.
And you will be uploading and whatever else.
Yeah.
Right, getting into the race then, boys. First race, Dean, kick us off.
The 450, the 420. It's a 5 furlong race. This is probably the best race in the card. Pennine Hills definitely sets the standard, given group and listed performances. Ran with credit there at Leopardstown behind Jer Lyons' horse at the weekend. Jarvis looks another one, eye-catching. But I can't really rule out Antoli, a course and distance winner. Albeit it was a barrier trial, but did one over 6 furlongs when myself and Ryan were at the track there at the beginning of the month. Big step up into group company last time, Group 1 company. Probably at the depth a wee bit, but back here, 7-1, definitely could be overpriced.
Yeah. I have gone for Pennine Hills, like you mentioned there at the start of that thing. Joseph O'Brien's it's Pennine Hills Dundalk debut under rules. It did run in a barrier trial. And what I like about this is Hugh Hogan is claiming £7 and she's got a filly's allowance as well. So she is well in on the weights, I think. And like you said, she's performed at listed on group level. So I think she is the one to be here for me anyway.
Yeah, the one I'm going to go against this, lads. I just think both Anatoly and Pennine Hills, the run's going to come too quick, I think, from last weekend through to this weekend. This is a hot enough race. The one I'm going to take you on with is HMS Endeavour for Aidan O'Brien. This is a Warfront colt. Actually, the second who was second behind it, Pirate Jenny, is going to run at Navan now on Thursday. HMS Endeavour was second, or actually is the most potential, I think, to improve around Dundalk. Will likely make all. And it was a non-runner twice on soft ground. So it looks like the O'Brien team are looking for good ground. So you're going to get that round in Dundalk on the all-weather. I think it'll probably pop out, make all on the Shamie Hartman.
Yeah. We'll move on to 510. Dean, I'm going for a bit of Anatoly form here. With Redbud, Fuzzy Stacks horse, Keane McRedmond's claiming £7. This went into my tracker off that race when it came second to Anatoly. Really outran her odds that day. New York City, who came third in that race, is running today at Nace. And obviously Anatoly's running in the first race next, or tomorrow even. So if they come good, the two horses before that, I'd be all over Redbud here. I do like the look Harrington's horse too, especially with her form at the minute. But for me, Redbud.
Yeah, I'm in the exact same boat. We both are used to me after the race that day that Redbud was one to put on the track. He was well supported. Now Fozzie stacked the trip all the way up from, I think, his bases in Tipperary up to Dundalk that day. So they're obviously expecting a bold show. I think he's going to be the one that they all have to beat. As you say, Keane McRedden's taking a handy £7 off his back. 4-1 looks absolutely massive price to me, and I would say he's going to be my nap of the day.
Yeah, I'm going to go the other way. I'm just going to look into that HMS Endeavour form from Navan. Exquisite Acclaim is actually the one who finished fourth in that and is going to run here for Jessica Harrington and Shane Foley. It looked to me like they were a wee bit too speedy for him at Navan. They just didn't get home. It was an extended 5.5 furlongs. I think the easier track round on Dundalk, I think it just might be just settled off the pace, try and come through late and fast. So I'll go for Exquisite Acclaim on that.
Yep. Moving on to the 5:45 then. This is a tricky enough race. Those two in particular that caught my eye. It's one really for an each way bet. Sister Lola, first of all, it was recently claimed by James McCauley. Myself and Alan were in McCauley's yard there the other day. She did look well, but based off her last run, I think she can really put a good run in again. The other one I did fancy was Woodrow. Again, ran well last time out. And McCullough is claiming £5 off that one, so could be something to look at.
Yeah, I've gone for Linus Larrabee, who was just touched off to the well supported Trezier the last day, the day we were down, Ryan. The trainer actually had a treble on the card that day, if I'm not mistaken. And Eddie Lynham is definitely a man to keep an eye on this winter at Dundalk. Horses do seem to be in good form for the start of the campaign. I think there's a lot to like there. 13-2 is a pretty decent price. You know, you can play each way depending on how much you're staking or whatever. But yeah, no, Linus Larrabee should do the trick for me.
Yeah, I'll follow you in, Dean. I really fancy Linus Larrabee in this. The second is Pretoria was a very good run last time. Up a pound for that. Good draw. Likes to travel. Look, probably needs a lot of pace in this race, which I think there is going to be with the likes of Rudrow in it. I think Linus Larrabee will travel nicely in behind the pace. Hope for a bit of luck, get a gap, and come through late and fast.
Yep. What about the 6:15, Alan? Tricky race?
Yeah, very tricky race. Probably the toughest, handicap in the night. I'm going to go for the Kevin Prendergast train, Miss Conning. Showed a bit more spark just last time with 6, the Pride of Pimlico. Look, it dropped £4. Jessica Gorman normally booked in this. They've Gary Halpin now aboard. The £4 drop, look, it's probably an small each way bet and nothing in this, but that'll be one for me.
Yeah, Alan, I'm in the exact same boat. My notes here says a real competitive handicap. At Dundalk could throw up a surprise or two, even a blanket finish. Definitely a race to tread carefully. And now Miss Cunning is a 3-time course winner and has slipped down to a very, very competitive mark. As you says, Alan, Jessica O'Gorman normally takes the ride. They've got helping up. You know, all things considered, definitely worth a small each way bet at 8-1. Probably going to maybe pay 4 places that handicap. So, you know, if you're getting 4 places, a quarter or a fifth of the odds, take each way.
Yeah, I'm against Jazeera's boys. I have gone for Jack Barry House, John McConnell's. Ben Cohen's riding. I think Jack Barry House is well handicapped. Tends to run fairly well at Dundalk, in fairness, and definitely will be winning sooner rather than later this winter. Looks to be aimed at another winter campaign, so I'd go Jack Barry House each way. Then moving on to the quarter 7 race, I've gone for a recent Cork winner here, Skontanowski. Ronan Whelan is going to ride for Aidan McGuinness. Skontanowski's gone up £9 £9 higher than the win at Cork. But for me, he could be capable of back-to-back wins. It's going to be interesting to see him at Dundalk.
Yeah, I've gone for a course and distance winner here in Pride of Pimlico. I just think there's going to be enough pace in this race for him to be doing his best work at the finish like he always does. He stayed on strongly the last day. It was a commanding one. You know, Brennan Duke doesn't tend to have many winners, but you know, it's great to see Pride of Pimlico stepping up to the plate and putting them on in the winners enclosure. California Poppy is another one of interest at about 14-1. Maybe a small each way in that, just for the fact that Lynham tends to do well around Dundalk, but Pride of Pimlico at 4-1.
Yeah, Ryan's already mentioned, myself and Ryan went up to James McCauley's the other day. It was nice to get in around it. He's a new recruit here, Beligament, recently got from John McConnell's. Just the booking of Colin Keane really catches the eye for me. This horse was third off 61 over course and distance. In here off 53. Look, at that handicap mark is going to be exploited at some stage. It may not just be first time out for the stable, but I'm hoping maybe the change of scenery might just spark a bit of life into this horse.
Yep. And moving on to 7:15, then I have gone for a horse that seems to love Dundalk. Basically, ran 7 times last year and won 3. Shadow Massar, Paddy Harnet's riding. It's an apprentice handicap, so he's only claiming £4. I can see Shadow Massar winning quite a few times over this winter again, and definitely will be one to keep an eye out and make hunters a few bob along the way.
Yeah, Ryan. Again, Shadow Massar, anybody that watched the previews last year will know that he made us plenty of good money. he done a bit of 1 and over a mile 2, but the mile 2, I think it's mile 2 and 150 yards at Dundalk, so it's about a mile 3. So there's not much of a difference. Give it take a furlong. I think he stays this trip really well, and Paddy Harnett's on board here, taking £4 off. He has a plum draw in stall 6. I think, as you says, Ryan, this horse can go on again a few times this winter, and is definitely one to keep on the right side of.
Look, lads, probably Chateau Moussard is probably the one to beat this, but I'm going to go against you with dollar value for Tom McCourt. Really, really, really impressed with this at Navan in the last time. It's gone up £13 for that last win. Now, switching on to the all weather, comes here in tip-top form, has been mixing it between National Hunt and the flat. I just think it could pop out here and make all. Now, the stamina is assured, but whether something like Shadow Moussard will have too much speed for at the end, look, it'll be interesting to see the tactics and dollar value, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's 7-8 clear turning down the back.
Yeah. The second last race of the night, for me, this is the best race of the night. I was torn between two here. I was torn between Idle Sark, two Joseph O'Brien's. Idle Sark would be ridden by Declan McDonough. Idle Sark was in my ones to follow at the start of the season and is a course winner at Dundalk. So it definitely will be one to keep an eye out. It hasn't really performed at all this year. The other one that I really like and would be my selection is Stour. It's also Joseph's. Shane Cross is riding. He was very impressive there over the summer. First or on debut. He's also son of Frankel, so I'm really interested to see how he progresses.
I'm gonna take a chance on the unexposed Stour here as well, Ryan. The rest of the horses in that field have plenty of experience and are good quality horses, so he won't need to be on his game. He took that race a couple of weeks ago and really commanded fashion, put it to bed, stayed really strongly. I think the trip track, we know he likes it there. He's about 3-1. I'm going to err on the side of caution and say the lack of experience won't hinder him, given his opposition, but it might. But